Have you ever wondered why some days you feel completely aligned and energized while other days everything feels out of sync? Today, we're uncovering the answer with someone who helps North Jersey neighbors feel their best every single day. I'm Betti Russo, and I'm joined by Keri. She is a Pilates instructor at Club Pilates in Oakland, one of my favorite happy places, and owner of Super Juice Nation in Wyckoff, two local spots that have become the go-to places for strength, wellness, and simple daily resets. Keri, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited about this conversation because it's just so near and dear to my heart and my lifestyle. And this is all about lifestyle in North Jersey. So I'm excited.
Me too.
So tell me, what first drew you to Pilates? And, we're going to start there because I think that's how your story evolved, right? So what first drew you to Pilates and what made you decide to become an instructor?
It's a long journey. So I've been exercising my whole life. I grew up as a competitive swimmer. And I feel like I get tired of stuff. So every decade, and we won't get into what decade I'm in, but every decade.
I never talk about that.
I switch stuff up. So like one decade I did like kickboxing and kung fu. This was after swimming. One, maybe I did, yoga, boot camp. So you name it, I've done it. I even ran a marathon and I committed to never do another one and I haven't.
Wow. But
so
good for
one
you.
And done. That was
good
it.
for you. Yeah, one and done. That's enough.
Yeah. So I like variety. And Pilates came about, I guess about 10 years ago-ish, in that range. And it was the Club Pilates. I had done a few other classes, but Club Pilates made me a little bit more committed to it. So I started there as a student and I was like, oh, this is my next decade thing. So I started doing Pilates. And then since I was an instructor, I've been teaching yoga since 2004, a pretty long time.
Oh, okay.
It was a natural transition. COVID hit, and I got certified around then. And one of the other instructors was selling a reformer machine from another gym.
No.
And I was like,
I want one so bad.
I want one. I'm going to do that. I actually only signed up for the chair. I was like, all right, I'll buy a chair because that fits anywhere. I came home with the reformer and the chair.
You did. Oh my goodness.
And then I was like, well, I don't really need to be a member of Club Pilates anymore. I have this it's in my garage. And so from there I was like, well, I should get certified to teach this since it's in my garage and I'm doing it pretty much every day. So that's how that happens.
Okay. So you're not a member of Club Pilates anymore, but you are an instructor.
Yes. Awesome.
And you're there all the time anyway because you're instructing classes and your classes are amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very inspiring.
Well, one of the things that really is near and dear to my heart is that I like to inspire and motivate women to be super healthy. So it just made sense that, hey, I love Pilates, I should teach it.
Absolutely. It makes total sense. I want to deviate a little bit from the Pilates conversation because you mentioned yoga and how it was a natural transition for you to start Pilates. How is that? Because yoga and Pilates are not the same, but I know they're similar in certain aspects.
Yes, very. And it's actually a misconception.
So is that the misconception?
Yes, it is.
Yes, okay.
The misconception is that they're actually a lot alike and, what's the difference between them? And Pilates has only been around for like the 60s or 70s. I forgot. I should know this, but I don't.
That's okay.
But this is like last century, whereas yoga has been around for thousands of years. So yoga is more of like a healthy lifestyle. And Pilates is kind of a piece of that. So remember before I said that I've done so many different exercises? So Pilates is just another piece of the exercise.
Got it.
It just happens to be that it's a lot of strength, stretch. So it's like boot camp for aging gracefully. So it just naturally fits where I am in my life right now as my exercise routine. But yoga is so many other different things. So it's kind of being more mindful that it's not just exercise to be healthy. It's what you eat. It's what's going on in your gut and your mind. It's what you're doing every day. It's how you're connecting to people. So
it's all encompassing. It's not just the exercise part of it.
Yes. So it's really just healthy living. And
Awesome.
then Pilates is a piece of healthy living because it's exercise.
And I never looked at it that way. So I'm so glad I asked you that.
Yeah. Hopefully that makes sense.
It does. It
Okay.
does. So tell us, for somebody who has never experienced a Pilates class before, what is it like? Take us through a beginner class maybe, or an average class. Maybe not beginner, but just a regular class.
Okay, so I teach my yoga and Pilates classes pretty similarly. I like them to be strong and stretching because that's what we need, especially as we get older. So I like to flow. So we'll do something strong, but then we'll do something super stretchy because you're not going to be get more strong if you're not so bendy. So you kind of need both. And one of the things that I love to torture students with is putting the foam roller in there because that's another tool that we use in Pilates you roll out your connective tissues. And if your connective tissues are all tight, it's not going to make you any stronger or any more bendable. So it just all goes in one.
Sometimes when I'm using the roller, I'm like, is it taking off like the fat pockets?
Fingers crossed. Yes, and it's a massage. I'm going to give you an example. So I joined a new gym because one of the other things that's super important as you get older is to do weight training. So I picked that back up because in one decade I did more boot camp and more strong things. And I feel like I was slacking a little bit from it. But my son got me back into weight training. And I don't have heavy weights at my house. That's heavy weights that are going to help. I know that Pilates has the little weights, but it's different. And I try not to use the weights in class because I feel like people should be doing weights separately.
Ah, okay. You're right. I've never seen you incorporate weights in your class.
Yes.
Some of the instructors do, but
Yes.
yeah, okay.
I really want you to just have it about the Pilates experience. I would like to, and by doing that, I'm trying to direct students to make weight training more of their lifestyle. So like, for instance, I have two days a week where I do leg day. I just go to the gym and I do heavy weightlifting. And it's a torture day. I hate those 2 days. They're miserable. And same with like arm day. So there's days that I specifically focus on a specific body part. And you have to do heavy weights. You can't do like, and I learned this from my son. He was like, you can lift heavier than this. If you can do 10, it's not heavy enough.
You could do more.
So obviously I have to go to a gym to get weights that are that heavy. So that's really my reasoning behind joining the gym. And then I got distracted. I don't remember what your question was.
I knew it. The conversation just rolls between us. So that's just how it goes. The question was, tell me about an average Pilates class for somebody who's watching or listening and they don't know. They don't know what to expect. What can they expect?
So it's a boot camp for aging gracefully. That's the best way to describe it because it is strength. You don't need those heavy weights that I was talking about in your class. You're going to get quite a workout without them. That's why you need the separate weight training days for that.
Got it.
So, I mean, it was designed after a bed. So that's why we all love the reformer class, I think.
Yes.
Yes, specifically. So think of it as like awesome exercises because they're so stretchy, but yet you're relaxed on a bed doing them. So
It's not relaxing though. I mean, it is relaxing, but yet the exercises are not easy. That's what I should say.
And they're deep muscles, which is what I really like. So how are you going to do deep muscles if you're focused on like the weights and stuff, you know? So I really like people to get into those deep muscles that we never really use. So small, really deep muscles is the target of the class. Especially core. So do you notice that your core is different since doing Pilates?
My core is super strong. It's not quite looking the way I would love it to look yet, but I did have 2 babies, so give me a break there.
Yes, exactly.
But it is super, super strong, you know, and I notice that as time goes by and the more and more I do Pilates, the stronger it gets. Like, you know, I can do certain things that I wasn't able to do before, even in class. You know, I see myself progressing in the exercises that I do because my core is strong.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And one of the things you lose as you get older is your balance, and you need a strong core to help with your balance.
Yes, 100%. And that's even gotten better for me, my balance.
Really?
I've had the worst balance. I don't know why. Fear of falling for some reason. I don't know why. But yes, that's gotten so much better.
Yeah. So the goal in my Pilates class is to make all the ladies burn. And I say ladies, but there's some men in the class too.
There are.
I am not a sexist Pilates instructor. You can come man or woman, you're going to get such a hardcore workout.
Yeah, and the same workout regardless of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, I want to say, you can do a lot of the exercises that we do on the reformer on the floor without the reformer. So it's almost like doing those floor exercises in certain respects, except you're on the reformer using the pulleys and the how does that work? Explain that.
So actually in my training, they specifically said, really, we're only doing so many exercises and you just switch how you're doing them. So you could be doing them on the reformer, on the springboard, on the mat. You could do them all over. You could do them on your belly, on your back, but all the moves are pretty much the same. Once you know them, you know them. But just by changing whichever apparatus you're on or which position, whether you're standing or lying down, it changes the exercise.
And that keeps it interesting.
Yes. Spicy.
I was going to say exciting. I don't know if people get excited about Pilates, but I do. Especially when I finish a class and I'm like, wow, I did that. That's amazing. I feel so good afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah. And which I think, if you asked me what the misconception is about Pilates, I would say that people don't really understand how good of a workout it is. We're not just on the floor stretching. We're really working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People could walk in and be like, they're doing nothing. But because the move isn't big, but we're all like, oh my gosh, get me out of this exercise.
Yes. Smack it out. Smack that hip.
Yes, exactly.
It's on fire. Awesome. So I want to transition this conversation because there's so much more to talk to you about. Not only are you an instructor at Club Pilates, but you are the owner of Super Juice Nation in Wyckoff.
Yes.
Which is my new addiction.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Tell us about that. How did you end up going in that direction in your journey?
Well, honestly, I hope it sounds similar to my journey that I mentioned to you before, that it takes more than just fitness to be healthy. So Super Juice to me is the first floor is gut health. So most of your immune system is in your gut. So it's important to take in healthy things. Be mindful of what's going in your body because it's going to show, you're going to feel it on the inside, and you're also going to see it on the outside if things aren't healthy. And that includes your mental health as well. That's part of it, and that's our second floor. We do have yoga on the second floor. So when you walk in the door, it's a whole wellness experience. And that really, to me, encompasses what I was mentioning before about yoga. Yoga is a lifestyle. So whether you practice yoga or not, hopefully those who are entering the store, when you know, I tell so many people, you could easily go to, I won't mention any other like smoothie shops.
They're not the same.
When you know. So you could go to whichever one, and maybe your kids love it and they're like, oh, it's so awesome. And it is yummy. But there's additional things in there, and we're very mindful of our ingredients. So we only use organic bases. We try to do organic as much as possible. Sometimes it's impossible to do that, but our base is definitely organic, including like coffee, coconut milk, almond milk, all the basics. Or you can skip milk altogether, but we don't use regular milk. Because actually, during my yoga training, I learned something, that dairy and fruit don't mix. So if you're making smoothies with like milk or yogurt and fruit, that's a no for your gut.
How about almond milk instead?
Yes. All the non-milks are what you want to mix with it. Or you can always just do water or coffee, any base. So although you can mix like apparently pineapple and what's the other one? Papaya. Because they have enzymes that break down the milk, and I mean the cow's milk. Okay. So if you were to use a cow's milk, you would want to use those two fruits.
Okay. I don't drink milk, so.
Okay, so perfect.
No, that's no problem for me. I don't even have to remember that. But when you walk into that store, it is a whole different experience. And I say that because, yes, you have the shakes, the juices, the acai bowls, right? You offer. But But there's so much more to it. If you look at the, like you said, the ingredients, if you look at the menu of your offerings, it's different. It's different. And is this correct? Am I correct? Is everything vegan
Yes.
in the store?
Vegan and gluten-free, although I just brought something in. What goes back? When I bought the store, I was like, oh my God, you know what this store needs? It needs a muffin to go with the smoothie. And over the past few years that I've owned this store, I could never find the perfect muffin until just recently. So I did find the perfect muffin, but I brought two. I brought one vegan one. So it's, which I brought today.
Oh,
This one is vegan. And it got mushed. It's normally not this shape. It still tastes delicious.
it happens.
Though.
I'm sure it's good.
I'm going to have you try it too.
Okay.
So it's vegan and gluten-free. Everything's gluten-free too, because I know the craze is vegan everything. But a lot of things vegan are over-processed, so it runs the risk of that because that's not necessarily good for you either. So you have to be mindful of not going too crazy vegan. Do what feels good for you. I would say I'm vegan-ish.
Okay.
So there's things that I do that aren't vegan, like one of the reasons why I brought the other muffin to the store. So this one is chocolate chip, vegan, gluten-free, but I also have a blueberry lemon muffin, and that one is dairy-free and gluten-free.
Awesome.
So everything's gluten-free because gluten is an inflammatory. You want to try to avoid it, especially in this country. I know people go to other countries and are like, I had gluten and had no problems, but then they come back
different.
here. It is. And you may not, you may be like, I don't really have any gluten issues, but do you not? It shows up in certain ways, whether it's coming up in migraines or your skin. You might not feel it in your gut necessarily, but taking gluten out of your diet is, if you can, a really good thing.
I couldn't agree more. So what else do you offer? I know, well, I'm gonna throw this in there. I've done a juice cleanse.
Yes.
With you.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Okay, so with Thanksgiving coming up too, or the holidays coming up, it is a perfect time to do a cleanse. Maybe like right after, a way to kick off the new year. But it's a good way to clean up your gut. Just like you wash your pots and pans, you want to wash your gut because that's where your immune system is. So you want to make sure your immune system is ready to take on whatever flu season has to offer. So I recommend doing a cleanse twice a year. It's a juice cleanse. You can do it 1 to 5 days if you want to go crazy, maybe longer, but I only do my cleanses for a maximum of 3 days. That's it. The first day is the hardest day because that's when maybe you're getting side effects like either itchy or headaches or irritability, being hangry, but it's just juice that you're having. So there's about 5 or 6, depending on which cleanse you have. And then our most popular one is the Happy Belly cleanse.
Yes, that's the one I did.
Okay, so that has a few juices, and then it also has a protein drink in there. And that's specifically for your hungriest time of day. So if you're like, I really have to eat something, you have this to coat your belly a little bit.
Right. Oh, and I had a coffee too.
Yes.
That you recommended.
Yes. Because we're really not trying to torture you during it. We're really just, it's a mindful practice to be healthy.
It's doable. I have to tell you, it's doable. And I feel like I eat, I think I do a good job. I'm not perfect, but I think I eat pretty healthy. So I found that doing the juice cleanse, I really wasn't, I don't know how else to say this, but like negatively effective. Like I didn't really get a headache. I didn't really feel starving. Because I still was nourishing my body. I wonder if that's different depending on how you eat. And then you go into this juice cleanse.
Yes, it's definitely harder for people who don't eat healthy. I even recommend that just be mindful if you're going to do a cleanse. So if you're like, all right, next Sunday I'm going to do a cleanse, you have to plan for it. So start eliminating some stuff. Start not having sugar. Start, not having too much gluten because otherwise that's where the headaches are going to come in.
Right. Okay. What else can you tell us about Super Juice Nation that maybe I haven't asked or people would never even think of?
Okay, so I want to, besides the cold pressed juices and the muffins, we have gluten and vegan scones. We have soup, vegan and gluten free. Because I think a soup like a warm smoothie. So it started getting cold, and some people are like, I just can't do anything cold.
Mhm.
Okay, well, we have a warm smoothie for you, and it's in form of soup.
That's amazing. I
Like
love
the
that, thinking of
yes.
it that way. I never
Mhm.
thought of it that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a way to nourish your belly, like to almost like treat it like a baby. You want
Mhm.
to, that's how you want to take care of your belly.
Okay.
Because it's your immune system in here, and that's what
Yes.
protects us from everything.
Okay.
So,
I never thought of it that way, but
mhm.
now I'm going to. Taking care of my
Yes, your
baby.
baby. So besides the soup, we also have warm oats, and you could kind of make your own. So I know it's super popular. Put maybe one of the proteins in it. Protein is super important, especially these days. It's like all the rage, protein. So you put
Mhm.
protein in it. We could put superfoods in it, you could put superfoods in any of our smoothies. And the two most popular are sea moss. Sea moss is all the craze right now. There's so many healing benefits to sea moss. Sour sop as well.
Mhm. What is
Um,
sour sop?
Sour sop, my functional medicine practitioner said it's it fights cancer. I was like, really? She was like, you got to get this on your shelf, like immediately. So we sell it in two different forms. You can put it in your smoothie as we have like a dropper, or I don't know if it's in liquid form or powder,
Okay.
but you just throw it in the smoothie. You're like, I want to add sour sop, or I want to add sea moss to it. But then you can also buy it on the shelf. It's kind of like it's in a jar, and I should have brought that. But all right. In retrospect, I should have brought it, but I didn't.
That's
It's
okay.
sea moss, and it's like applesauce. It's in a jar like that, and it's sour sop and sea moss. So you scoop it, and you have it
So
like
it's a
that once a day.
combo. Okay.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah. And then the other superfood that's all the rage right now is wheatgrass, and I brought that for you too. It's the Glow Shot, which is an immunity shot. So we also have flu shots. We have
Mhm.
detox shots. So instead of going to the bar and shooting Jägermeister, we shoot healthy things at Super Juice.
I love that. I literally need, I wish I was like next door because I would be in there every single day
Hmm.
getting something because it's so nutritious. This is like having a meal
Hmm.
sometimes, depending on what you're having.
Hmm.
Like, yes, a meal instead of all the crap that we eat all the time.
Yeah.
I don't, but I know a lot of people do.
Hmm.
And I can easily like do a shake every day,
Yeah.
the juice every day.
Yeah. Our
So,
juice are all organic and cold pressed. So there's no heat involved. So you're getting the most nutrients possible in the juice. And it's a whole process. It's like me bringing over a lasagna to your house. Instead, I'm bringing over a juice that we, spent a lot of time in. We get the organic juices in, the vegetables in, we wash them, organic. We follow the organic processes for that. We chop it, and then we throw it in the juicer, again, that has no heat. We put a big bottle on the bottom, and then we just pour them all into these. That's
so
it. There's no water in it, nothing.
okay.
So they only stay on the shelf for a few days because just like your organic vegetables will go bad, so will these.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at this. What is inside this juice? The green goddess, cucumber, celery, lemon, spinach, kale, and ginger. I've had this.
Mhm.
It's very tasty.
Mm-hmm.
You might not think so, but it is.
Well, it depends. If you don't eat your veggies and you don't like vegetables, and you spend a lot of your time eating junk food, you're going to drink it and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is awful." But if you pretty much lead a healthy life, you like your vegetables, it's very refreshing when you have it.
But you know what happens? You lose those cravings for
Mm-hmm.
junk food when you don't eat it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it doesn't take that long
Yeah.
for that to change. I've noticed because I used to eat all this stuff.
Yeah.
I used to put coffee creamer,
Mm-hmm.
disgusting with chemicals like in my coffee. And now if I taste it, I can taste the chemicals. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah. That's
Um,
one of the reasons that I recommend cleansing.
mhm.
So the first time I did a cleanse, it was really just to see what it was about. But then the next time I went with a plan. I was like, all right, I want to get rid of gluten in my life. So I did the cleanse for a few days. It was a 7-day cleanse. And at the end of it, I didn't have the gluten craving and I never really brought it back.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it goes
that-
away.
Yes. So
Yeah.
then my next, I've been doing cleanses now for about 15 years, I would say,
Mhm.
just seasonally. I do one right before flu season and one in the spring. And then maybe if I go on a crazy vacation and I did bad things there with food, I'll come back and do another one. But really, it's just the 2 times a year that I'm doing a cleanse.
Mhm.
And that's just to correct anything that I messed up on. Like summer months, maybe I had a lot of ice cream.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I got to get rid of that sugar and dairy in my
It's like a
so,
reset.
mhm.
It's like a start over.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just like you go to Pilates every day, you
Mhm.
do your seasonal cleanse a couple times a year. So it's
Awesome.
part of lifestyle, healthy living.
For busy North Jersey homeowners that are balancing all the things, you know
Mhm.
how busy we are in this part of the country. What is one simple thing? I don't know, for lack of a better term, like what would you tell someone to do? A tip
Mhm. Yeah. Mm,
to just reel it all in, just
mhm.
something, one thing that they can do every day.
Yeah. Well, I feel like my number one tip, if I could give anyone about being healthy, is to create a routine. Put things in your calendar. So it could be the cleanse. I put it in my calendar every November/October. I pick a time where I'm going to do it. I do it again in April so that I don't forget to do it. I put all of my Pilates classes in my calendar.
Mhm.
I even put, and I'm not even making this up, I have my bedtime in there.
I used to, but
Mhm.
I never adhered to it. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm not going to win with this one. I took it
Mhm.
out, but my classes are definitely in there. And
Yeah.
I always say, if it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist, right?
Yes. That's why we don't take it seriously if it's not in there. So, how are you going to show up to your classes if it's not in your calendar? Or how are you going to remember to do whatever it is that's important to you?
Hmm.
Exercise and healthy living should be in there.
And I
Mhm.
find that a lot of people do calendar like their work obligations,
Mhm.
but personal life and health and fitness, all of that has to be in there too.
Yeah. You almost have to treat it like a doctor appointment.
Yes, and
If
if
it's
it's
important to you, put
there,
it in.
yes, if
Mhm.
it's there, it's an appointment and you don't let anything else come in the way of that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So the routine might be hard to put in there, but I'll give you a for instance. The first time I was like, you know what? The first memory that I have of adding a routine to my schedule
Mhm.
was water in the morning. So I wasn't drinking it. I put it in my calendar. Water with usually lime I put in there because it's just like lemon. It cleans your system, but it's alkaline instead of acidic. So it's better on your system. So I put that in my calendar every day to drink my water before everything. And I left it in there for probably a couple of years. But then I was like, I do that every day. So it's no longer in my calendar. It's just part of my routine. I
Right.
wake up. So that's another thing that I would add to what you can do to easily change your lifestyle. And just an easy tip is just drink water before you do anything, before your coffee, before anything. Well, you can wake up and go to the bathroom and then do that.
Okay. Before you ingest anything else, your water.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's a good tip. That and routine. And my routines, my tips may have started as small and simple as just drinking water, but they've evolved over the years. Does that make sense? So what was just, hey, drinking water every morning turned into, okay, I'm going to go to bed at 10:30 every night or whatever
Mhm.
that is. Or I'm going to practice gratitude or I'm going to practice mindfulness. So routines. Does that make sense? So that I become better at those
So
things.
you're building routines like one at a time and then you're adding on.
Yeah. So then years later, you could be like, wow, I'm a totally different person than I was because I
Mhm.
added all of these little things over the year. And I'll give you an example of where I am right now. So once upon a time, I was just practicing drinking water in the morning. But now I've been doing hiking every morning. And
Wha-
during the hike, one of the reasons that I'm doing it, and it's not far, it's just to get my, I don't know, 5 to 10,000 steps in a day. And one of the things that I'm doing on the walk is practicing a form of mindfulness, and it's to be in a happy place. So to get in that, so I'm practicing always trying to be in a happy place all the time. And it's almost a practice in mindfulness and gratitude.
Mhm.
And I feel like that it's easiest to get in that place right before thoughts come into your head. Does that make sense?
So how do you do that? I mean, I know just being outside in the
Hmm.
fresh air, in nature,
Yes.
just without your AirPods on,
Mhm.
earpods, whatever those things are called, right? Without having them on, without any other distractions,
Mhm.
just to like listen and be mindful of what's going on around you. That is so
Yes.
refreshing.
Yeah, so the thoughts are coming up, and I'm like, But I'm in nature. Look at all the leaves out here, and I'm breathing in fresh air, being in that place right before the thoughts creep in. So when the thoughts come, that's fine. I let them go, and I'm like, all right, I'm focusing on my steps, walking and just being in that place.
Mhm.
And that moment is a very happy place. But I got that exercise or that routine from a few years ago, a mindfulness challenge that I did. Since then, I created my own challenges.
Mhm.
So I actually have it on the Super Juice website. So if you go to superjuicenation.com, it gives you 3 options. You can go to the menu, you can click on for a yoga class, or some of our events, because we do like mahjong and sip and paints there.
I love that.
Community-based things.
Mhm.
And then the last thing that I have there right front and center is join a challenge. Right now, it's November. It's gratitude month. So you can do a 30-day gratitude challenge. Next month is about mindfulness. So you can do a 21-day mindfulness challenge. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit.
Yep.
So you get daily reminders of practicing mindfulness. So this month is gratitude. Next
Mhm.
month is mindfulness. So you can incorporate one daily thing, and I give you the tip. And it's nothing crazy. It only takes a couple of minutes every day, being responsible and routine with it, to do whatever it is that the email says to do. And then by the end of 21 days, you've practiced mindfulness, and hopefully it's become more of a habit. And maybe you picked up something along the way that you were like, wow, I really like doing that from the mindfulness challenge.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep it.
Sign me up. That is the one thing that I did not know about what you do and Super Juice Nation. I'm sure there's 1,000 other things, but that is amazing. I didn't know that. I love that. I'm totally on board.
Yeah, they're really fun ways to incorporate healthy things. We have one in February for self-love. So everybody's practicing couple love, but what about self-love?
Mhm.
Abundance is January. Cleanse is April and October. What am I missing? Meditation and mindfulness is usually like May, mental health month.
Mhm.
So all of these are, again, back to yoga, part of just healthy living. I don't
Right.
even necessarily want to call it yoga. It's just healthy living,
Right.
which is really what I hope that you got that yoga was.
I did.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And so much more. This has been an amazing conversation. I have just discovered that you and I can talk for 10 more hours.
Yes, we can.
I love this. I love this so much. I am so happy that we connected.
I am
And
too.
thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. It was so much fun.
It was my
and
pleasure.
again, like I could do this again, and again.
Yes, we'll
and
have
for
a part
another
2.
hour, and then we'll have a part 2. Maybe we'll come into the studio one day.
Okay, that would be great.
That would be so much fun. The
Yes.
studio and the store, I should say.
Yeah, a whole wellness experience.
Yes, yes.
We'll stop at all the stations.
Yes, it sounds great. I love it. If you found this conversation helpful, share it with a friend or a neighbor who might love it too. You can connect with Keri through the links in the description below. If you're planning your next move here in North Jersey, reach out to me directly. Let's create your strategy together with confidence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.